Nobody's pulling out. The fight goes on. The roads have run out of reinforcements. You can win this. The fight is halfway done. The specialization supply drop has expired. You missed out.
Rogue Defender drone detected. An agent needs assistance. An agent needs assistance. Agent down.
I'm sending you a specialization supplier.
Serious trauma detected. Agent down. Agent killed. Agent down. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected.
You missed out on the specialization supply drop. The enemy is about to claim the supply drop. Halfway to the finish.
An agent needs assistance. Agent down.
There are no more rogue reinforcements.
Vital signs critical. An agent needs assistance. Agent down.
You need to turn this around, or we're going to have to pull you out.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
What's up agents, Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be the Pyro build 3.0. The original Pyro build was made over a year ago, utilizing the Igniter Chem Launcher. As you guys know, I like to crispy fry agents. The original one was way different to this, because obviously back then, whatever TU update it was, everything was different, and I thought it's about time I make the TU12 version, because we have received a whole bunch of new skill elements in the game when TU12 dropped. So just before we get into the build, as you saw from the gameplay, there are a few issues with the game currently, a few bugs which might astonish you guys with the capacitor. It's actually increasing status effect significantly without doing anything, and I'm going to showcase all of these bugs in the firing range very soon. So just, you might have been a bit confused if you watched the gameplay, because there were a few interesting things. I made it a bit more of a funny side. I hope you guys did enjoy that. Now this build is going to be very aggressive. Just an honorable mention to the Eclipse protocol build. Now this is not the build we're showcasing today, but this is what I would use in PvE. The Pyro 3.0 build is going to be for PvP, more for solo play. If you want to have 1v1s with other agents, you can do that. This is still the best build for progressive damage and spreading the flames everywhere. I would recommend using it the way I have it here. I could release this build, but it's just run-of-the-mill. Everyone knows this, but this is still not the best damage build for Pyro in PvP. This is going to be what I would use in PvE. The Golem, obviously, for the extra status effect, and just roll it like this. The Chem Launcher burn damage is only 43k, and our Pyro 3.0, which I will showcase now, is 49k, which isn't the highest, but we have other utilities, and my rolls aren't perfect. But you still do very similar damage because of the backpack talent, which, by the way, only works with the full set. You can't use it by itself, so just keep that in mind. But this is going to be the Pyro build 3.0. Now, I had to spell it P-I-E-R-O, which is hilarious, but this is going to be the build. Let's first go through these specializations and explain how this is going to be utilized. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, you can use the firewall specialization. You could if you want to, because you do get 20% burn duration. But here's the thing, in PvP, people have baseline status, hazard protection, should I say, from the watch. Already they have just 10%, and they might have a few extra modifications, and they can mitigate your build pretty quick. This build will two-shot someone even if you have 100% burn resistance, because the skill damage from the initial explosion of the chem, so when you shoot the chem, you can also auto-ignite it or shoot it with a gun, or if someone's already on fire, it ignites. When it ignites, it creates an explosion that does skill damage. Once that skill damage is up, then it is status effect and burn damage afterwards, and the tick goes from there. So the skill damage is increased so much, from 800,000 to 1.3 million, just by using the Artificer Hive. So that's why I have gone for Technician, but you can use this if you guys want, because of that reason. But also the armor break, burning people, doesn't work in PvP anymore, so I wouldn't recommend it too much. But Technician is still going to be the best option in my opinion, because we get an extra skill tier, which means we can have a blue or a red, more survivability or more damage, and the Artificer Hive, which actually buffs the skill damage, not the status effect, just the skill damage of our chem, from about 800 to 1.2, 1.3, sometimes 1.4 million, depending on how your skill damage is on your build. And I'm going to showcase that very soon in the firing range. And make sure you guys have skill damage over here. Everything else should be activated. You guys know how Faraday Field works by now, I'm sure. Just make sure everything's good, and your assault rifle and rifle, if you want to utilize the one rifle. I do have a rifle in this build, but it's not focused on damage. It's literally for the one tap proc to the headshot. So once you have got that activated, let's go through the build. Like I said before, this is a PvP build. The damage will be slightly more than the Eclipse, but the Eclipse, let's say for example, if you do take Eclipse into PvP, you can destroy teams. But this, in my opinion, will give you more survivability because of Unbreakable and the extra blue, and you can dish out slightly more damage, but the damage is very similar, and obviously you lose a bit of damage when the Eclipse spreads. So just keep that in mind. This is still the best PvP Pyro combination in my opinion from all my testing. So we have got almost 1 million armor with 1 blue. And then we have got the Everlasting Gaze. Make sure you utilize this. Headshots grant 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. This has no limit. So if you shoot someone in the head, you'll see the icon pop up there, and that's it. It lasts for as long as it is up until you proc a status effect, and then it's taken away. And the cooldown is only 16 seconds. And this is a huge difference. So I do recommend utilizing this. And when you modify it, just pop on accuracy. I don't know why it's still loading. That's ridiculous. Accuracy, stability mods, just put all of that on. And the 20 round magazine. The capacitor. So this is quite astonishing, guys. I don't know if anybody knew this, but I can do 483,000 a tick with this gun when I pull it out. For for some reason, there is a bug that if you shoot your chem launcher, you have normal burn damage. For example, I do about 300 and something K burn damage. I'll showcase all of this very soon. But when I hold this gun without any stacks, my burn damage goes up. So this gun is actually increasing our burn damage. It's not supposed to, but it is, and I will showcase that very soon. Shooting enemies builds stacks to cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage, which is just the initial explosion of the chem. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. For each yellow, we get a skill tier, or for our skill tiers, we get 7.5% weapon damage each one. So that equates to about, a tier 6 will be about 3 reds, I would equate to about 3 reds. So that gives us more weapon damage. This gun actually melts. You can do 60k a bullet to the head in PvP, which is really good. I think this is an amazing gun to use. This is better than the Pyromaniac just because we have more weapon damage that's not situational, and you can still beam people with it. That's why I use it. Very, very good weapon. Make sure you guys get it. You get it from doing summit challenges. I have made a video if you guys want to check it out. Link will be in the description. Use whatever pistol you want. It doesn't really matter with this build. So we're going to go through the pieces now. Like I said before, million armor with extra blue. We have got unbreakable, which is good. Now, just a quick little side note, you can use other talents, like if you want spark, if you want more weapon damage, but like I said, this is focusing on the pyro chem launcher in and of itself. Glass cannon, you'll do more damage, but you're going to be a lot squishier. I want this to be more of an aggressive style of play. You don't want to just camp behind cover and throw things and shoot your chem. You want to get up in the action, as you saw from the gameplay. This would be also a good option for Overwatch. There's a lot of things you can use, but I just think Unbreakable is too good in PvP right now, and you just feel a lot safer. Even tardigrade if you want, but I recommend using the mask because you can't have 2 exotics. Do not use kinetic momentum because you have to have all your chems active or available, and then as soon as you shoot one, you lose the buff, so it's pointless. Do not use kinetic momentum. Then let's go through the backpack talent. This backpack talent, applying a status effect to an enemy, increases skill damage, which is just the explosion. It shouldn't be the burn, but it increases the burn damage, guys. I don't know why. You let me know in the comments if anyone has an idea, but this actually increases our status effect as well by a huge amount, which is really good. I'm not sure why it shouldn't be doing that, but it does. So, and repair, we don't need the repair for 20 seconds. This is easy because every time you burn someone, you get the proc and the skill damage and the status effect as well. We are hitting huge amounts of burn damage. Over 483k a tick in PvE and about 59,000 when everything is procced in PvP, which is a lot of burn ticks, as you guys saw from the gameplay. So let's go through each piece now. Because we have rolled status effect on everything, the Vial Mask is a must-have. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why not use the one-piece Golan? The one-piece Golan does less damage than the Vial Mask if you add them together, because the Vial Mask does like 68k or 61k in addition. In PvP it's an extra 8,500 on top of the 49k, which equates to more. So the burn damage is significantly more with the Vial Mask, and it's a must-have. I do recommend it because the Vial Mask gives us extra tick. The debuff, total weapon dealt, is equal to 50% in concussion grenade. So you can put China Light Industries to increase the vial, but I don't recommend it too much because we want to go mainly for the burn damage, to be honest. But this works wonders. And increased by your status effect attributes. So remember that this will give us better toxic delivery. This has status effect and hazard protection. Very, very strong. Then for the build, other pieces, brand sets, the 2-piece Wyvern, which is perfect, skill damage for the initial explosion, and it's not explosive damage. Just remember that is skill damage, but it's like it's an ignition. Should we just call it the ignition, which is skill damage? And then we've got 10% status effect, which increases the burn duration and damage. So we've got status effect and skill haste, and all of my modifications are going to be skill haste modifications. Unbreakable to give us that extra proc, very, very strong. Then the backpack, because it's Wyvern again, we have got the 2-piece status effect with shock and awe. So every time you burn someone, this procs. Now, pay attention to this. I'll showcase this in the firing range. When you shoot someone and it ignites, the first time you see the symbol, you don't get the burn damage. It's only the second shot, or when you shoot someone while this is already active. I don't know why, but that's how it works. Then your burn damage will increase once you've done the first initial shot. It's easy to proc. You always have extra ignition damage and burn damage. So very, very good, and duration, which is very nice. Well, the burn duration shouldn't go up. It shouldn't even have burn damage, but it does. So the next 3 pieces are going to be the brand set Empress International. The best I recommend, because there are other options like China Light, which give us a status effect, which is good, the 10% for the 3-piece, skill haste, but Empress is still better. We also have Murakami, which gives us skill damage, but still Empress is the better option because skill damage 10%. We have 20% skill damage for the 3-piece, and skill efficiency just for the 10% does apply to status effect. I did try this. So this is 10% status effect on top of skill haste, skill duration, skill damage, which skill efficiency is basically everything like that. So skill haste, status effect rolled in everything. Like I said, try get status effect and skill haste on everything, or skill damage. You can gauge how often you want your chems to go. That's what you should roll on all of the attributes. On the gloves, I wanted skill damage here, but I couldn't get it because I just don't know why I can't get one where I have the perfect attributes. Then I can roll a blue just for extra survivability. You can go for a red if you would like. Knee pads are going to be status effect, skill haste. The 3-piece skill efficiency, very, very nice. The skill health 1 piece is not really going to help us too much. So the statistics, I'm going to go through it. You can pause the video at any time. Our skill haste should be just under 100%, 98.1%. Very nice. So with the skills, the Artificer Hive is extremely potent. My modifications are not very good. Just put whatever you had. The stim efficiency doesn't work. Stinger charges doesn't work. I would recommend just going for range, the 10% range. And then health, and then over here nothing I have actually adds to it. So I don't know if you guys have better modifications, but just having this on your back, the charge will fly to your chem launcher and dish out additional ignition damage. So the explosion from your chem launcher, the ignition, will go up from about 800k in PvE to 1.3 million, which is a huge difference and helps a lot, especially in PvP. It's from like 250,000 damage in PvP to 300,000, which is good. And I think it's worth it, especially if you are fighting people with hazard protection. So let's go to the chem launcher itself. I just want to make sure my modifications are correct. Yes, burn strength modification if you guys have got it, and then ammo, very, very important. So let's go into the firing range to showcase what chaos is happening with this game right now, and I don't know if this is true, if this is a bug, if this is correct. It's very confusing, but you guys are going to see this with me. What we are going to do is keep this as simple as possible. So I'm going to put it on Heroic Invulnerable Elite, which will give us more often than not armor damage values. We just got to pay attention to that. So I'm going to showcase first and foremost the Artificer Hive. So what we're going to do is put a normal different skill so it doesn't proc the chem launcher, and we're going to pay attention to the actual ignition damage from the chem launcher. So remember, you can ignite this yourself. You shoot it, like we push the button, shoot it, and then double tap the button. So we just did 624k damage. So we do it again with shock and awe, 739. So as you guys can see there, 749 from 600. So it's over 100k. So 624k base damage from the ignition, and then to 700. So over 100,000 damage. That's what the Artificer Hive does, which is significant. Sorry, that's without the Artificer Hive. That's just shock and awe. So shock and awe gives us just over 100k damage difference. So when we put the actual Hive on now, we should see a significant change. So from 600 and something thousand with shock and awe, just remember, 1 million. That's 1 million. So from 600,000 to 1 million now with shock and awe. That is 1.27 million, guys, with the Artificer Hive. So from all the way down from 700 and something K to 1.2 million with the Artificer Chem Launcher, Hive. So it's very, very good. I know it might be a bit confusing. Just remember, when you see that indication that the Hive has jumped to your chem, so all you got to do is pull the chem out, and you can see you glow, and he jumps towards you, and you can dish out that damage. 1 million, and then when you do it again, that's going to be, again, we are hitting 1.2 million. 1,274,729. So let's have a look here. Pay attention to this, guys. This is quite hilarious. So we are dishing damage. Look what happens when I pull out the capacitor. 374k, 374k, 415k. Did you guys see that? Let me do that again. Wait for the armor values to come back. 374, pull out the capacitor, 415. The burn damage is going up significantly. If you calculate those together, that's about 483,000 a tick, because this capacitor, for some reason, with no stacks, is giving us burn damage, which it's not supposed to do. So I don't know if that's a bug or whatever it is, but you can see shock and awe works. So if let's take that away. let's just do this like this. So without shock and awe, okay, when you ignite it, the burn damage is 312,000. So that happens in PvP as well. It's about 49,000, and then when shock and awe is procced, it's 59,000. So now it should increase from that 312 to 374. So shock and awe is also giving us a burn damage, which it's not supposed to, but it is. And then if we swap to the capacitor, it goes up exponentially. So if we swap 374, swap 415, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then what I'm going to do now is get my stacks up and showcase what it's supposed to look like. That's the skill at 1.6 million and 521k. We swap 470 back 500. Oh no, that didn't work. That, you see, it didn't go back there. Oh, okay, it's because the stacks went. Did you guys see that damage? That is just, the numbers just don't stop. 521,712. A tick with the burn is just ridiculous. And that's because that is not supposed to be skill damage. The burn damage, the initial ignition was 1.6 million. There it is. 1.6 million with the initial because of the artificer hive and the shock and awe and the stacks from the capacitor. But as you can see, the burn damage went from 374k with the shock and awe to 500,000, which is ridiculous. This is I don't know if this is an exploit, but in PvP, this is absolutely destroying people because it works in PvP, as you guys can see right now. The damage is increasing every time I swap to the capacitor, which is not charged at all, but the capacitor is increasing the burn damage, which it should not at all. And I am a bit worried about that. I'm probably going to try and send this. I don't think anyone has made a video about this. I've had a look on Reddit. I've noticed some people talking about it, but it is quite shocking, and I don't know why it's doing that. You guys need to let me know in the comments if you have seen this before. I'm sure some of you have seen it. Now, I thought the firing range was bugged, and because it is. A lot of the time the firing range is bugged, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let me just go and have a look. But it turns out that the capacitor, when you're holding it, is giving you too much fire damage, status effect damage, and it's quite scary. But yeah, I don't know, I might make a separate video on it, but that is the Pyro 3.0. I know it is a bit controversial with all of the increases that we're getting, but look how powerful it is. In PvP it works as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you going to give this a try? Because it's so strong, it's ridiculous, and the capacitor just amplifies it to the freaking moon. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Peace out, guys.